It's one of our favorites. At one point, we called this Nightmare Steel Cage. That was before it kind of picked up its most recent run of results, where it was termed Prison Tron, and actually it has done reasonably well. And I think Susaru's top aided a challenge fairly recently with this list right here. The most important thing about this version versus some of the other recent versions is playing no Chalice of the Void's main. And we've got Mishra's Bauble and Expedition Map, Inscribed Tablet. So all of these things to try to vomit out your Tron as early as possible, even Serum Powder. So really, 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 this deck is 100. This is like green Tron levels of I want to put Tron into play on turn 3. And barring that, you've got Urza's Saga sort of mid-range plans. And I think it's possible there are some hands that you put together where it's like, okay, maybe we'll have Tron on turn 4, but Saga will have been going off before then. I would be really interested to someday find out Susarus's thoughts on this deck. But it's just one of those things that I have not been able to do. But there are other people like Sixmoo who pontificate right about these kind of strategies, so probably should pursue that. But I haven't done so yet. But we're just gonna play the Susaru's Tron list and see how she go. Tried out my 5-color energy deck yesterday. It was surprisingly not unplayable. Do you have a link for that? It's Pioneer, right? Bada gaboosh. Bop, bop. Bop, bop. Ba-doo-da-doo-da-doo-da-doo, Thanks, Jesse Ryu. I look kind of weird because I just showered and shaved, so I look kind of... Alright, on the play with Gemstone Caverns, Urza's Power Plant. Yeah, we're on the play in game 1. We can try to find a quick Tron. Hey, Muffins on a Hill. I don't know why you gotta call me a monster. This is just good, clean fun. This is what it is. Okay, we're gonna powder this one, go to 5. Opponent mulligan to 6, and now they're tanking on the 6. They kept their 6. Powder that. I'll put back in 2 Tron pieces, I think. We lose a Forge and a Karn, that's fine. Yeah, it's not... that's not getting us anywhere. I really don't want to go to 4, but I think I should. Because this hand really is a whole bunch of nothing. Mine, Tower, Saga, Karn. Okay. It's probably close enough. Red message. Red message. Might be better to keep the Walking Ballista if they're on a Ragavan deck. I think that first hand is a keep, right? Map, Saga, 1 Tron piece. I don't think you keep a 7 that's that medium. You sent me a red message. What is red? I said, hey, nerd. You said, hey, nerds. I said, hey, Badagaboosh. You say, at mana symbol, red message. Oh, that's the red message. You're saying red message, and the red message is the red message. Got it. Understood. I thought you were calling attention to a red message. Grull Turf. Is this Omelet? I would assume. You're just D-hit posting? Yeah, I get that. Big D-hit poster. So this turn I get to go Saga, crack the map, get the last Tron piece. Timeless Lotus? Oh, it's that alternative like Amulet of Vigor deck, right? Mm-hmm. Karn destroys them, right? Golos Wincon? Do I want to needle Mycosynth Garden? I think I want to needle Mycosynth Garden. Needling Golos, like, you can, but also I feel like once they start resolving Golos size, it's a little bit too late. Because if I don't needle the Mycosynth Gardens, they have triple Amulet, which is terrifying. So I think I'm going to do that. I would like to top deck a Karn. I mean, I'm sure it has multiple ways to winning, right? It must. I don't think I've ever seen a modern deck in any recent form that didn't have at least two ways of winning, right? I mean, unless it's just trying to kill you, in which case everything kills you. I'm just saying, like, if it's like a Karn deck, which I assume that it is. The most fun deck in the meta, Timeless Amulet. Spike just described one of his decks as fun, and I'm uncomfortable. He probably didn't write that, I would guess. Oh, they're playing Mama. Oh, Mama. I guess they can hardcast it fairly easily. Only 26 lands. Pretty wild. So if we top deck a Karn, this is going to be... Oh my god. That's phenomenal. To besiege you. Oh, they're also playing Karn. Okay. Right. Sorry, I hadn't gotten to... Yeah, there he is. Well, might just be dead. Certainly not great for me. Haywire might. Okay. But they don't have enough mana to activate it now. So here... Play the Walking Ballista for 2. And then pass and make a token and see if we're dead. What are you getting? Filigree Sages. So I think that means they have infinite mana. It does. There's nothing that I know of that's in their hand. Infinite non-blue? Right, because they can't filter it. Got it. Yeah. They have one blue. Hmm. They just have the Emrakul in hand, maybe? So hold on. If they play Golos, they can only activate it once? That's weird. I guess the amulet will get them another blue source. And potentially the Golos entering will get them like a land that filters. I don't really know how this deck works. They have another card. All right, I'll scoop to that. I want to see what they do with this. I want to see how they're going to kill me. Just for game 2 clarity. Yeah, I understand that they can combo off. What I'm saying is it's weird to me that like Filigree Sages plus Timeless Lotus plus Golos isn't a win, right? Or it might be, but it has to be based on whatever land that they're getting with the Golos, which I don't know. It doesn't. Sorry, what did they get? Oh, they got a Ballista. Sorry, I'm dead. I'm dead. Sorry. Sorry. I was talking about how the infinite non-blue mana is surprisingly. Okay, so all Stone Brains on deck. Definitely want Spellskite. Bridge is not necessary. Yeah, it's not. And then Ballista's not particularly good either. Maybe we leave one in the sideboard in case I draw Karn, but not a Stone Brain. Needle's good. Relic's probably irrelevant. So out of my mediocre choices, I don't think Dismember is something I'm interested in. Like if they go for the infinite mana, I can kill them with that, but or I can kill the Filigree Sages. Think bring back the Ballistas and let's like play Ratchet Bomb. No. Balding Jar. I mean, Relic cycles. Balding Jar is something I can wish for and then protect. What do I want to protect? Pithing Needle? Yeah. That's maybe. Okay. Double power plant. I think we can, yeah, ship that 6. Sorry, 7. Mine, 2 maps, Needle, but it doesn't have a second land. There we go. Mine, power plant tower. No payoff. No business spells whatsoever. I'm pretty sure we keep this and just go Tron, Mishra's Bauble, try to draw something. Did they snap off their... They snapped off their 7. I mean, I don't think you throw this one away. Hold on. This is a 5, so I can keep this Saga if I want. Yeah. Assuming we don't draw a payoff, we'll play the Saga on 2. And theoretically, I don't want to play the Saga too early in case they have Force of Vigor or some other way of destroying it. What are you drawing? Timeless Lotus. Okay. Tablet. Okay. It's not the best payoff, but maybe the tablet finds me something. If I do draw a Karn. If I draw a Karn and they have an amulet, I could probably play Karn, play Ballista, snipe the amulet. And then the next turn Stonebrain them. Okay. Put a land into your hand. Oh, I have to. That's not. This doesn't work how I want it to work. Oh, shoot. If you didn't, yeah. Put a land card from among the revealed. Yeah, you have to take the land. Well, that's no good. I mean, it's not bad, but I think I'm in danger of being annihilated. Here's my sad payoff. So now they go amulet, copy amulet, and we'll see where they go from there. But probably in big trouble. But the first hand that we had was not fast enough. It was just turn 4 Karn, which we would be in just as bad of a spot. Yep. So they have a single tap land, bounce land. That's 4 mana. I don't know how far along that gets them. It might not be far enough, so we might have one more turn or so. Playing only Saga feels like, oh my god. Okay. So, yeah. Feeling incredibly dead. I mean, I have a turn 5 kill. I just think that theirs is going to be better. I don't think this Basilisk Caller matters. So, go ahead, opponent. End me. So next turn, yeah, we crank this to 8, hit him for 8, shoot him for 7. So 6 mana. I know they have a Timeless Lotus in hand. So they just need a payoff. Play an additional land this turn. Okay, so they exile 5. So that's they got +1 mana. They have 2 times. Okay, we're dead. Cool. Tough. Tough. Not I don't think that's a particularly good matchup for this build of Prison Tron. I mean, if yeah, we just didn't draw out very well. Did not have very functional hands. when we were in the blind in the very first game, one of the earlier hands would have been okay, but you don't play your game that way. Mulligan to a correct hand. Yeah, it looks pretty powerful, Takabolas. It looks very similar to the 8 key deck we're going to play, where it's like a lot of stuff that can get like blown up in the early game, but if you like manage to make it to turn 3 or so without being messed with too much, then you just do what our opponent did in those games and just blow away your opponent. Okay. So we're on the play easy powder here. Mulligan the 7. What did I lose? No Tron lands. Good. This is powder number 2 for sure. If our opponent is on mono black coffers like it says that they might be, then that is a problem. Just because they're an 8 field deck. But we're on the play, so theoretically we should get our Tron together before before they can stop us. Okay, so this is a 4. Still not great. Does this hit anything in the mono black deck? It doesn't, does it? I mean, it hits Karn, but I don't want to hit Karn. They don't usually play Expedition Map. We can hit Fields, sure. Yeah, it makes sense. Oh, I could have mulliganed again. Oh well. I made my bed. Let's see which one they play on an early turn, if they do. I guess the downside of this is if they thought sees it. Well, we'll see. Present Tron also is able to play through without Tron fairly well in most games. Well, I think I'd rather play the tower this turn because I'm not doing anything with the mana. Okay. The thing is, usually that's when your opponent's like putting resources into disrupting your Tron. Blood Moon, for example, like we can play through against Blood Moon without as many problems as, of course. Yeah. If they just have Karn here, then we're going to game 2. This is definitely a all 4 Stone Brains into the deck matchup. Okay, going to game 2. 2 Karn decks in a row is rough. If this is how this league goes, we might up playing 8 key. might be a bad metagame for this crap. I'd rather do it that way. Realistically, I also don't. I don't think I need spell skites. Oh, spell skites can redirect March of Wretched Sorrow from a Karn to a spell skite. So they should board out most of their removal. So spell skite should have a little bit more ability to soak up the splash damage. Howdy, Carrion Lich. Doesn't do enough. We have a powder there, so I think this one's fine. Yeah, it is. Specifically because we have turn 2 Stone Brain into turn 3 activation with a second Stone Brain. So. And then we Mycosynth Garden the Stone Brain. Uh-oh. They're on a mull to 6. They keep their 6. Problem with Stone Braining their Karns is that if they just keep hitting me with fields, like I only have one island. We run out very quickly. So that's super dangerous. How good is Prison? It's not great. Um it's fine. It's definitely playable, I would say. But you do have to know, I mean, that's always been a truth of playing Prison, that it's so demanding, if only based on, wow, this double march. If only based on the fact that you have to know almost every single 75 in the format that you're going to play against, like at all times, right? Like you have to know every single conceivable deck that you could be playing against and almost all the cards that can be in it. Um, I'm not saying that end of field. Yeah, I mean whatever, right? It is what it is. As long as I hit a land in the next couple draws, I'm fine. So I'm not, like, the field's not scary as long as I don't draw my one island. Um, I don't think Prison is great, but I think if you put in the work and if you enjoy playing it, then you can another field. You can do it. It can be done. Okay, that's really not my favorite land to draw there. So they have a bunch of marches in their hand. So maybe what I do is, because I know Field of Ruin is on top of their deck, I Stonebrain Field of Ruin right now. So that's going to shuffle their deck, remove the Field of Ruin that's on the top, and give me more time. Or I just play Mystic Forge here and we go down that road, because they can't really interact with it as well. As far as I know what's in their hand, it's nothing that's actually going to start winning them the game. Mystic Forge makes it a little easier for me to keep having lands. If they fire off these back to back, then I'm certainly in trouble. Whereas if I think I have to Stone Brain Field of Ruin right now. Because they have one in their hand and they have one on the top. And obviously this can go badly and I end up losing. Drawing Gemstone Caverns as the land I drew there is brutal. I mean, it's just really, really unfortunate, but what are you going to do? I should have taken a screenshot of their deck before, because it's entirely possible if I named the right card here, they just wouldn't be able to win. So that's the kind of thing I'm talking about where... Okay. So they have 4 Invoke Despairs and an Ulamog. Wait, what? Oh, one of the fields is on top. They have a Demolition Field in hand. I'm still in trouble. Still, they have 4 Invoke Despairs and an Ulamog. And that's it. Oh, and an Urza's Factory. Still. It's not much. So in theory, there's not a tremendous amount of pressure they can put on me. That said, I really pretty desperately need to draw a land on this upcoming turn. They never resolved a second field on me last game. So it is entirely possible that they don't aggressively field here. I mean, I guess they're not doing anything else with their mana, but this might let me be in a slightly better position. It doesn't. I guess I play this. They're going to put me down to 2. Then I have the powder to get up to 3. Okay. It's going to be a strange game, but that's okay. I got rid of their Karns. I'm not worried about how fast they're going to do anything. Did not fire off the Demolition Field. That's insanely good for me. I don't understand that at all. It's because they don't know I only have 1 island. That's what it is. That's fine. Whichever one I lose, I'm fine. I probably lose the Karn here, and that's acceptable. They take the Forge. Very smart. It's super powerful, and they have no way to interact with it. So I play Karn. Karn is immediately going to die. Can't get me anything super useful from the sideboard, but it can get me a Mystic Forge from exile. So that's what we're going to do. Mm-hmm. I think it was worth playing Karn out the way I did there, just because, like, without deploying any of the spell skites, because I just don't have, well, one, I didn't have time to do it any other way, but they also have at least 1 Fatal Push in their hand, I think. Okay. 1 turn with no Thoughtseize, please. So I guess I'm getting an Urza's Saga here. Invoke Despair? Did they draw one? Looks like. Oh, this is delving for the Cling, or escaping the Cling. Sure. Tablet. Yep. So they have 2 more Demolition Fields in their entire deck. Uh, if they invoke Despair, I lose the Saga. That's big. Well, hopefully they still haven't found one. Having a big old think. Okay. Three cards in hand. Okay. So I do have a Pithing Needle. So I think I'm getting a Saga. Yeah. Okay, so now instead of making a token, I'm just going to Stone Brain their Invoke Despairs. And it is almost impossible for them to win. It also takes away a lot of their card draw. I know I'm losing a token for this, but the token would die to the O Stone if they sequence things correctly anyway. Their hand is 2 March of Wretched Sorrows. Okay. Their exile. That's sweet. It's really cool. If they appropriately detonate this Oblivion Stone before the trigger resolves, then we get to needle their Urza's Factory. So then their only way to win is Ulamog. Literally. They're tanking on the O-Stone here. If I were them, I'd blow it up because it also hits my Serum Powder and puts me down mana. And that means I would resolve this Urza Saga trigger for a... I would have gotten Expedition map. But now I can do this. And they have 2 pieces of removal in their hand for this construct token, so I'm not actually expecting him to go to the distance or anything. Okay, they still have 2 Marches of Regisoro. They're keeping them for cards. So this one's not even going to make a token. I'm not investing in power and toughness. We're just going to get more mana. They're getting the coffers, so they finally are going to have... Oh. Never mind. This is going to get me a map for Mycosynth Garden to... No, you can't copy Pithing Needle. It doesn't work that way. What am I doing? Drew a mine, power plant. So I guess I could get a map for tower and try to go over the top of them if I find a Karn. There's no point in me making a creature. They have 2 gigantic March of Wretched Sorrows in hand. This token's not going to be able to do anything. Them killing a token is 1 less Karn dying. I don't think I'm worried about that. Maybe I should be. There is going to be many more turns of this game. What are they casting? Oh, Cling. Shoot. Okay. Still have a source of card draw. I have enough artifacts I can get an Inventor's Fair, and then I can Inventor's Fair for a Mystic Forge over 2 turns. I think I'm supposed to do that. Yeah, that's much more powerful than just putting a tower into play with nothing to do with it. I mean... Why? ¿Por qué no los dos? Dos? Sí? Sí. Dos. Urza's Factory being activated in Modern. But the Tron lands are on the other side of the battlefield. It's so wild. Oof, that's a lot of mana. It represents a lot of mana. That's a sweet token. It looks like it's from Chrono Trigger. Oh, maybe they're getting Demolition Field here. It's more important than mana. That's fine, because I just get Mystic Forge. Oh, if I find a Karn, I just get a bridge, right? And then they can never, ever kill me? Even if they Ulamog? Yeah. So I should have a bridge in the main deck for next game, maybe. Exile the... Oh, which one is it, though? I think it's the Shuffle one. It's not that Ulamog. Ulamog the sea... Oh, hold on. Is it? Is it the Tron Ulamog? They're not playing the Shuffle Ulamog? That's weird. That's really strange. Oh, well. Yeah, I know that it does destroy a permanent. So that's what it I guess it kind of comes down to the same thing. So we drew another Stone Brain. So that's probably taking out the Ulamog. But let's see what's on top first. Babble. Okay. No tower? Sure. So now I just need to beat this, which... Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger. Ulagmog. Colon. Yeah. Was not in their hand. They have an Oblivion Stone and 3 March of Wretched Sorrows. Perfect. Let's update the picture. Also, let's get the Exile Zone in there. Okay. I don't think they can kill me anymore. They think they can, but they cannot. So it's a question of what ends the game first, this Mystic Forge or this Urza's Factory. I bet they're wishing they were playing a copy of Torment of Hailfire now, but luckily it's not a good card. But it would sure kill the hell out of me. Okay, let's take an extra draw. Fatal Push, perfect. So not dead yet. Ballista, that's gonna set him back pretty far on the trying to kill you. Make sure to fizzle the life gain on this. Don't go crazy, opponent. You're not. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to let you resolve it, so. All right. Make your 2/2. They're drawing a push this turn, and their hand is March, March, O-Stone. So we'll wait another turn on the Ballista. Okay, that's game. I mean, I could just get Possess Portal if I want, right? Pretty sure. But I think it's better to just get Bridge. If I get Possess Portal, they can keep making a thing every turn. It's actually not great for me. Just get the Bridge with this Karn. There are more Karns, right? So how many are gone? 1. 1? Okay, perfect. Bridge. Oop. Do I have a way to reset my Pithing Needle? That's fine. I don't know. 3 March of Wretched Sorrows are down. So I suppose what I can do is make an army of large construct lads. This should be the last March of Wretched Sorrow in their hand. Now I can get Possessed Portal because I have Walking Ballista. I think that swings the pendulum in my favor. I think I also have another Walking Ballista in the deck. Should do. So one in the sideboard, one in my hand. One in the graveyard. None in exile. Okay. Let's go for it. And via Possessed Portal, at minimum, I can keep playing out my deck. Not Possessed Portal, Mystic Forge. So. And I wasn't carefully counting. They might not actually have the 4th March of Wretched Sorrow in their hand right now, so I can sack this needle freely, but only once I know that they don't have the last March, which I think this is the last March. And then we Ballista, and then it's over. Yeah, March for 15, sure. I mean, it's gonna make it take a minute to kill you. Discard a card. No. Actually, a cute bunny. What up? Just living that bun life. This is Demolition Field, right? To break up my Tron. Yep. There's a power plant on top of my deck, but I can't. Oh, that's fine. No, I'm good. I didn't need that. Working so hard. So hard. My God. How do you do it? It's my Ballista. I found out an insane fact on my favorite podcast today, uh, which is the Chihuahua that was in Legally Blonde, and there was something else that Chihuahua was in. Is the mother of the Taco Bell Chihuahua. Oh, they had to push. Shoot. This is really tedious. But they have 0 cards in hand now, so assuming I can play through a little bit. Nepotism, I knew it. That's really funny. Yeah, we can't literally deck ourselves. I don't need this Basilisk color. I mean, it saves me clicks on pings. Sure, let's sack the island here. But now they literally can't have any removal that matters. The possessed portal says players can't draw cards, so it's not possible for us to deck ourselves unless we choose to remove the portal, which I shall not. There's a ballista, perfect. I'm just not going to play it this turn. So we can sack the bridge and just attack them down. So that will be the plan. Not immediately. Pretty sure the no prompt just... Oh, it does work. Good. Good news, chat. We beat Urza's Factory. Also, they're doing a lot of clock damage to themselves using it. Like I do understand why. Oh, opponent, you can't draw cards. If a player would draw a card, they don't. Possessed Portal is in fact an 8-mana card. It's the end of the world as we know it. Yeah, it's the end of the world as we know it. Please continue to do clock damage to yourself. The amount of life they're gaining is just not going to be relevant in the face of the walking ballista I'm going to make. So like I understand that they're doing it and that's all well and good. I left one for the basilisk cooler. Equip. And now I can sack the bridge. And now we end the game fairly quickly. Oh no! Fairies and Grixis are both kind of like Jund. People like to see them even though they suck. This is true. They're just fan favorites. Smash. 21. You know it. That was weird. Soon they won't be able to make tokens, though. Which actually might be a downside, because it means that they're not going to be doing as much clock damage to themselves. So I'm ambivalent about whether or not that's something I'm excited about. Because I still have a game 3 here. But regardless of whatever happens, we had a really good time in this match. I freaking love this deck. We need an old frame Walking Ballista so badly. I mean, not as much as we need an old frame Expedition map, but... I don't care for that Phoenix at all. For a lot of reasons. Oh, for the love of... Just sacrificed the wrong thing. I think this means I lose. It was just because everything... That's so frustrating. I don't know. If I have a card in my deck, I'm okay, but I can't remember. I do. Okay, good. Whew. We are going to be winning this game with 0 cards in library. Which is really, really, when you think about it, the only way to truly win a game of Magic the Gathering, right? And we're going to be attacking with Possessed Portal. Does Inscribed Tablet actually prevent decking yourself? You're going to draw a card each time, right? I'm not sure what you're talking about. The card that prevents me from decking is Possessed Portal. So not it's fine. Prison Tron is a very strange deck. Yeah, it's not the most fun on Magic Online. Yeah, you don't have enough mana, do you? Oh, they can cling. Sure. What? Why would we need an elixir of immortality? Play elixir on the side for mill and cases like this. I'm not worried about it. They're dead now, so it really wasn't. I mean, I guess that theoretically we might have needed it, but I don't think I actually did. Yeah, there's no way we're going to be able to win game 3, but that's fine by me. Take the W on paper. Yeah, this is the ideal Tron game. Sorry, the ideal prison game. This is the ideal prison game. I'm just gonna scoop out of the match. Won the battle, lost the war, pretty much. Like, it's just not possible for me to win in the amount of time allotted. So I'm not gonna try. I'm just gonna let him have it, and that's fine. If I had a more clear, like, we had some interesting games to navigate there. They're able to put us unbelievably behind with Field of Ruin and Demolition Field. So, but I don't feel like that's necessarily the worst matchup ever. You just have to make it through those early turns. We did get lucky that they didn't actually know the contents of this deck. So they could have put us under way further by going Field and Demolition. Sorry, Ruin Demo? They're both fields, right? Ruin Demo? I don't know how to say it. I don't know how I'm supposed to refer to those. Power Plant, Mine Tower. If this is creativity... We just need to draw into a payoff. I don't have a way to do it in my hand, but I do have a Spellskite. I get that it's referred to as 8 field. My issue is like, I just guess you just say field me. They could have fielded me more aggressively. Because we always used to call it fielding, like not ruining. So I guess I don't have to flip anything. So I guess because this isn't a payoff, I should play the Saga here. But Saga beatdown against creativity is typically really bad. You know how I beat Tron? Concede? Turn on Ragavan, turn 2 Blood Moon? Yeah, that usually works. It tends to be fairly effective, yeah. At the Ren and 6? No, they've got the Leyline Binding. You can have my map. I don't need that. Joke's on you, opponent. Well, joke's gonna be on me if they play Teferi here. I mean, kind of. It's not a Teferi. Can I needle anything relevant? No. Do I want Basilisk Collar to team up with my Ballista? Or do I want Map to get Inventors is Fair? I think blind name a fetch or Ren. I don't think that affects this game very much. Do you? I don't think so. I don't like that. I think I like Collar. They didn't have end of turn removal, so they can't creativity. Nice. Teferi. Okay. No. No. They're dead. They're just dead. If this is a leyline binding, maybe they don't die, but the sequence is gonna matter. It's my spell's kite. Last chance. All right, they're dead. You have died. Yeah, they could do that, Bunny. Yes. Be back in 1 second. It's really, really good to grab game 1 there. That's an insane thing to get, because now we get to have 4x Stone Brain for game 2. I'll figure this out in 1 second. Yeah, I mean, Skite and Ballista had the block there, right? All right. Probably should keep one bridge. Can leave a Stone Brain in the sideboard. Just trim on a Bobble. Yeah, Susurus played a version like that as well at one point, Bunny. That's a very specific meta call. Um, I would say that that's a meta call based on like a challenge meta that's very heavily full of creativity. Because you need to be able to deal with Leyline Binding and sometimes Prismatic Ending and Teferi and Ren and Six, and like their whole deck is very, very like everything is a problem. So this is kind of slow. Thanks for the follow, the Painbringer. I don't hate it, but we'll see. Interesting. Oof. Not not really when you want to draw that. Definitely not playing the Saga out this turn. 0% chance. Because we know they're on Teferi. Strike it, Rich. Gotta go fast, I guess. I will block. Excuse me. I was told. I was told. I was told that I needed to uh, uh, be here, and they were very clear, and they told me, two times that I was supposed to be here, and I was here on time. Spellskite, why you gotta be such a nerd? Okay. Hiya. Do not like that card in creativity. I'm sure it's a reasonable choice sometimes, but I don't know. For me, that ain't it, dog. Opponent said, wait 5 minutes. Sorry. Okay. So what are you all chatting about? You chatting in chat? Doing some chit chats? Symbols of mana. Hypothetically, I have an RCQ tomorrow, but only 3 Chandra Hope speaking. What can I run in the 4th? 1 Torrential Gear Hulk? Yeah. You want a Gear Hulk? Oh, you could show me your list, Bolt Snap Bolt. Sorry, I missed your question. It must have been in a gap of my focus there. Um Hopefully you'll still hear. Doesn't look like it was too long ago. Gear Hulk is fine, especially if you're on a dig through time build. Which you should be with Chandra. I would need to see exactly what your list is to have a suggestion, but Torrential Gear Hulk is definitely a fine one. They back. They can't quite creativity for 2. If they had had a Dwarven Mine, they could have. But I have a Ballista to block that, so. Transmogrify intentionally targeting my Spellskite. Yeah. Till they reveal a creature. So it's either a Walking Ballista or a Spellskite. Let's go Spellskite and Spellskite. Come on. No. Ah, that's a shame. Okay. Rude. Rip. Yeah, this turn I have Karn with 1 mana left over, which could get Spell Pierced, which would be the ultimate disaster. Unfortunately, I don't think I have another line. Okay. So here we just blow up a treasure. Right? I mean, I guess I could just go Sundering Titan to hand. If they go land creativity X2, though. I guess I could have gone tablet going for tower, huh? I think I like blowing up one of the treasures, though. Then they can creativity for 1. I only lose Ballista. I mean, in theory, I lose the Ballista. We'll see. We'll see what their hand is here. They're having a good old tank. Yeah, because I Stone Brain them next turn, which is a good time. Don't do it. So if they creativity for 2, I lose everything and they have an Archon. Fuck. I mean, I can beat it. It's just... yep. Yeah, I mean, there's no play here. Okay. I mean, I keep 1 card in hand, but I don't think that's going to be relevant. I'm already down 2 ballistas, so that's not a like... Oh! Thank God. You fool. Sundering Titan, anybody? I don't know what this is, but I know it can't stand up to a Sundering Titan. Oh, you fool. Oh, that's so sad for you. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. That's... Mm, that can't be a real thing now. I've seen it before. Um, and I'm sure we'll see it again. But you should not do this. Don't do that. Don't do it. Don't do it. Your deck is already fantastic against this kind of deck. You do not need to do that. If that had been an Archon, I would have been in shit. Yeah, the problem with Elish Norn, though, actually a cute bunny, is that what if you have to X1? What does it even do for them? It gives them an out to, like, I guess they're worried about bridges, or I guess they're worried about, they're playing a weird build though, because they were playing Strike It Rich, which maybe means they're not playing Fable, because Fable plus Archon kills people through bridges all the time. Plus you get to go draw step, copy an Archon. Um yeah, it's a bad choice. It's a bad choice. Don't do what Donnie Don't does. We can do better. We can do better. We did better. Okay. So, I made my decisions there based on the fact that bridge is not as useful across the board as it once was, and walking ballista can double as a win condition, or you can use it to remove a birds of paradise, which is what we're gonna do here, I think. Although waiting one turn lets me put in a 3/3 ballista and potentially like clean up a lot. Let's see what they're drawing. Not that it's likely to matter. Ignoble. All right, we'll wait a turn. They'll probably spew a bunch of mana dorks, and we'll get to kill them all. The one I'm worried about is Wall of Roots, but yo, they yoggin. Are they poggin? We're gonna find out. Oh, I also have a Karn. I think Ballista blow up all your mana dorks is probably next turn, and then we Needlin? Maybe. We don't have one in the sideboard. This sideboard has no Sorcerer's Spyglass and no Pithing Needle. It's wild. Like, he had to make room for the 4 Stone Brains and the 3 Dismembers. I just don't... What if they're on the Arboreal Grazer list? They would have played it on turn 1, right? Right? Are we... Is this a real thing that we're concerned about? I don't think so. I didn't... The way you said that, I didn't think you were actually concerned about it, but I'm just... Just to be clear. Yep. You got one more. Oh, baby. No, I understand it's a real build. My question is, are we worried about that? We, the team of you, me, and the chat right now that's playing this match of Magic the Gathering, are we concerned about them being on the Grazer build? I don't think so, especially if they didn't play it on turn 1. To destroy your world. Played a 6-mana Cinderclasm. We also don't have a Soulless Jailer in the sideboard. Interesting. Ooh. Abundant Heart. So does that mean they are on the build? Does that mean they are on the build or they're not on the build? I don't know enough about how Yogg is currently built. So this means I can Stonebrain their Yawgmoths? Is that the best thing to do, or... I guess it lets me get a look at their deck and figure out what the best thing to do from that point is. And if I lose the Karn, I have a Mystic Forge, although that's not... Yeah. Let's see what you are working with, opponent. What's going on in that little mind of yours? Okay. So I am losing my Karn. They didn't EE for a Yawgmoth. Interesting. So likely they will go for Greased. I would say. They're going to play the second Strangleroot and Eldritch Evolution the wall. No, they don't have enough mana. Huh. They'd probably just play the second Strangleroot, kill my Karn, and figure it out from there. The real secret is the Grist is the best card in their deck. I don't think that that's true in a majority of cases. I think Grist is the best card that stops you from only ever caring about Yawgmoth. That I would agree with. Grist is good because Yawgmoth is so terrifying that most players have a hard time dealing with Grist and allow it to... I mean, not allow it to, but like Grist gets out of control because the threat of Yawgmoth is so good. It's kind of like Wrenn and 6 in creativity, right? Wrenn and 6 is the best card in creativity, but part of that is that creativity is so threatening that you can't just deal with the Wrenn and 6 willy-nilly as soon as you see it. Some of your resources have to be held for the potential creativity. I don't... Do I need a second one in the main deck? They have both Sage Use. All right, we'll play out a second one. Not now. Play Spellskite and pass? Yeah. I just don't want them to kill my Mystic Forge and then get really rolling. They have a second Strangleroot, so they're going to play one, make an insect, and attack me for 2. We want to save the tablet for when we hit a land on top and we want to reselect. Now the goal is get Ensnaring Bridge plus Needle on Grist. I already have a Spellskite to redirect. Oh, they are playing they must be playing the Grazer version. I wasn't looking for them. No, they're not in here. They're playing the bounce lands, but they're not playing the grazers. I didn't know that you would do that. I suppose it's a thing you can do. There's Karn. Okay. Second bridge? Sure. Okay. I don't know, Keep Bunny. It's also one of those things where you see a decision that a player has made and you go, okay, but I don't know if you understood the core concept. Like, why is Golgari Rot Farm in the Yawgmoth decks right now? And I wasn't looking for how many they're playing, but like, just the one. They're playing literally one. That's so strange. I don't think they have a way to tutor for it. Like, did they sideboard into Grazers and more Rot Farms? That doesn't make any sense. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not being paid to know. One abundant too. Yeah, it looks like. Huh. Somehow Blood Artist ended up in their graveyard, which is good for me. Oh, it's from the grist. They are dead and they don't know it, I believe, is what's happened here. I thought I saw a Colony Gardens. Yeah, there's two. Two Colony Gardens. It's wild. So somehow we 2-0'd creativity, which seems wrong. I mean, I've beaten creativity with this deck plenty, so I guess it's not necessarily. They were on a weird build too. Grazer's a ridiculous card in pretty much every format it's ever been in, right? I mean, it's just the best version of that effect that ever will be printed, I think. It has reach, like, come on. And it doesn't have defender somehow. Well, it's neither, Muffins, because they're not playing it. Opponent's having a little struggle over there. Like, what are we doing? Uh-huh. Okay. Yes, and? Okay, they can attack it for one now, but they're gonna cord? They still have the Eldritch Evolution. I mean, I have another one on top. Like, even if they manage to deal with this card, it's not... Okay, if I were playing Cord... Here. To get Ignoble Hierarch? Because then the insect attacks for 2? How do they beat 2 bridges? I don't think they beat... Well, they have 2 Bose... Oh, they have a second grist. But again, I don't... It's whatever, man. Like, it's... You can activate this. You gonna attack it for 1 first? Sure. Oh, you're gonna attack me for 1 first. Okay. Real? Oh no, my Karn. They're definitely eventually gonna try to win through Grist Ultimate, but I just don't think they understand that the prison deck actually kills you fairly quickly. We don't have a needle, but I have I have lots of options. This is very, very over. So I'm gonna draw this for turn. I'm gonna fire off this bauble now in case I top deck a land after Karn. So I want to draw through that. Otherwise, it's just kind of chaff for they're drawing Nurturing Peatland. No, we draw a Ballista. Okay, that's game. Another Ballista. Okay, that's game. They can get one more Grist. So unless I could wipe their board. Okay, they're off it. I don't know why that was the moment, but whatever. Okay, we get the Dismembers, Stone Brains. Definitely want all this. I think I can trim on Ensnaring Bridge. And maybe the baubles. Excuse me. The thing about trying to bridge a green creature deck is that they're just gonna have so many ways to destroy it that it usually ends up putting you behind. Oh, we just drew the most insane hand. Okay. Yeah. Okay, keep. Thoughtseize me. Come on, I want you to do it. Do it. Come on. No, they didn't do it. Get up here, you little goblin. Nobody wants you here now. Oh no! A plant! Well, I could kill it. You gotta hit those natural trons. You put in the reps, you're gonna find it. We also had multiple games where I had to mull to 4 and not find turn 3 Tron. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that, on averages, this has been not an exceptionally lucky or unlucky league. Susurus is back playing the deck. I have not seen them stream literally ever. They have a Haywire Mite. That's cute. Okay, their hand is mildly aggro. Two more Force of Vigors? Sure, sure. What do I want to do here? Is it tablet and pass? I can use Expedition Map to get to Inventors' Fair. Let's save this Ballista for when I can make it bigger and deal with more of their junk. They can't cast that Geralf's Messenger anytime soon, so that's great. That's not what I want. I'll eventually find the right letters. So that was their draw. Or the other draw. If I played just Saga, do you think they'll feel like they want to force it? No, I mean, not just Saga, but like, do you think Saga will help me get the force out of their hand? It might do. It also presents a problem for their creatures. Yeah, if I play Saga and Walking Ballista here, they probably fire off the force, but they have to pitch the Eldritch Evolution, which is not a great proposition for them. But we'll see. Because at the moment, this Ballista can take down Young Wolf and the plant token, which seems pretty good. I expect the force to come out here, but maybe they're... No, they're probably in the business of wanting to hard cast it, right? They could hard cast it here. They could save it for if I start pumping the Walking Ballista, but that's a dangerous game because this Saga... They're this is the tipping point right now, is like either now or in my upkeep when before the Saga triggers again. They have no other window to use this force. Yeah, cool. So their force was a 2-for-1, but my Ballista also picked off a card. So I think in terms of raw card exchange, this is all pretty even. Also, they hit another forest, so they are definitely not casting that Geralf's Messenger yet. And that's a disgusting draw. What am I doing with that? Could Stonebrain the Eldritch Evolution? Could Stonebrain Grist? Can't Sundering Titan this turn. Can't Possessed Portal this turn. Stonebrain Grist. Can coding? I don't think coding's very good here. Just if they have, yeah, I think if we just take out Grist, it's just it becomes a game we can't lose anymore. Okay, they're off it. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't see how we lose anyway, but the second Stonebrain, they're like off it. Karn in play also blocks them from having Haywire Might as a draw. So are they playing Outland Liberator? No. So they're just into drawing forces at that point. Oh, they have a crime punishment, but that doesn't really deal with a Karn. Okay. Yeah, it's not good enough. I'm into keeping this. Yeah. It's not great, but like, it's got stuff going on. What kind of Mishra's Bobble deck are you? One with fetch lands. I have questions. Surely that should have been shocked in, right? Of course it should, and don't call me Shirley. What is this? Urza? Is that you? Chat help. Mill with baubles? No, no companion. Is there a weird blue-black Delver deck? Okay. Some kind of reanimation? Yeah, Archon's in the graveyard now. Well, howdy, Electric Bob. Good to see you in here as well. Enjoy you playing your mid-range delightfulness. Maybe Rona combo? They put an Archon in the graveyard. Maybe it's Esper. Why are they playing Mishra's Bauble? I'm so confused. But, Shredders. Okay. So we're going to ding their Flooded Strand, I think. I could get a Relic. That's much safer, right? So let's go Relic. I'll have to leave one mana up, which I can't do. I should have thought about it beforehand and made the second construct, but didn't. Because I don't even want to play any of these threats this turn into fairly obvious counter magic. That's probably the best thing to get. I mean, otherwise we're just trying to hose their land, which is not normally a good strategy. If I'm going to jam a single threat onto this board, it's going to be the worst one, which is this card. And the next turn we can play Karn and Forge and keep up the relic. No, we can't, but it's still good enough. If they tap down here, which they did, I'm kind of into just like jam Mystic Forge and pop the relic now. It's like, what are they going to do? If they have a 2-mana, like if they have another Tainted Indulgence and a Persist, but they didn't persist this turn, and they probably should have done, right? And even if they persist Archon, I just discarded Gemstone Caverns. I'm even going to have an extra card on top of this, so I think this is fine. Let's just get this Mystic Forge on the battlefield. Oh, I have 2 Karns. So let's say they have the perfect thing, and they Archon me. Then I lose the Karn, but I get to keep Sundering Titan. Then I Sundering Titan. Then they attack me. I blow up their other lands. And then I get Karn to get a bridge. All right. If they try to play a reactive game, I'm just going to use Karn to get like Stonebrain and go after their hand. So I'm going to guess that they have Force of Negations. But Force of Negation doesn't deal with Sundering Titan. So we're just playing Sundering Titan this turn. Bone Shards. You got him. Karn's been boned. It did have another land. Okay. So if I Sundering Titan here and they have a Persist, then what happens? To blow up the Titan, they lose all their lands. And then I go Karn for bridge. That's probably the game. Hello. Force them to get a swamp. Yeah, like a little funky clave. Why not Karn into Brain into Archon? Because they could have Force of Negation in their hand. And then top deck a Persist. That's what I'm thinking. Which is like obviously pretty like not that's not gonna happen, right? But then it does. I don't know. I just feel like I'm in a really fine spot with the way I took it. Because I'm thinking of like someone. I think Spike was playing some kind of Reanimator deck that was playing 4 main deck Force Negations, and that's for some reason. Yeah, it's just one of those. It's just one of those things that like maybe they didn't have the extra blue card because they wanted to hold the Ledger Shredder. I don't know. It's tough, right? It's tough to know. Yeah, there's definitely a bunch of ways that this could like that I could have taken this. I'm very happy with how the game's going right now. So that doesn't mean all the choices I made were right. Yeah. Like here they can have counterspell. Like they've already shown us counterspells. Um although this well I don't want to play that. I'm going to kill them. I'm going to hold the Gemstone Caverns in my hand. Attack for 7. See if it's some kind of removal. I'm gonna play the Karn. And if it resolves, we're gonna get the Stone Brain. And if that resolves, then we're gonna Stone Brain their Archons and see what they're up to. If I were them, I'd concede about now. Thanks for the follow. The Formal Brew. So they could be on... No, they can't be on Atraxa. This is naming persist. I've already seen a bunch of Archons, right? Yeah. Smart. Good concession. Okay, so... Probably want the Dismembers, and I probably want the Stone Brains. Leave one on the sideboard. Excuse me. I think these can all jump out. We'll keep one Ballista. And then... cut down on the bridges. I never saw a second color out of them, which is... Sorry, a third color out of them, which is... Yeah, I just felt like maybe they have a secondary reanimation method, Mark Chalice. Sorry, second threat. Yeah, I agree they're probably just blue back. I'm just saying if I don't have to deal with white cards, this game is a lot easier. No, persist doesn't work on Atraxa, exactly. But we didn't see any of them, right? So I have powder this. We can do better. Mulligan that. Keep that. My thoughts. No. Like blueback control that probably has 4 Archons, 4 persists, and the Ledger Shredders. Yeah, could be. Terrastodon is a real thing. I have lost to that card before. For sure. There's one face-to-face open where the first day I went 6-0-1 into top 8 with creativity, and then the next day I lost to Zoo and Reanimator, which at the time neither Zoo nor Reanimator were particularly good decks. It was a really funny weekend. So I tried to go back-to-back top 8s. I think I just cracked the tablet this turn. They're just sitting there repping counterspell. I suppose, though, jamming here will stop them from just going Tainted Indulgence into Persist. So maybe I should play this Stone Brain. Yeah, so if they have Counterspell and... If they have Tainted Indulgence into Persist, they're just going to play through anyway, probably. Just put a Archon into play and assume that's enough. Which it may be. Discards persist. Okay. And this is why I don't like Reanimator. That's why I don't prefer to play Reanimator. I do not enjoy the play patterns of Reanimator. Hmm. Okay, I guess we're going to find out what their secondary threat is here. I spell Ledger Threader. Ah! Okay. That's pretty cool. They sideboarded into blue-black Shadow. Cool. Okay. Yo, I get you, opponent. Spicy. Yeah. I don't see them beating my Urza Saga this game. Because they do have dress downs. Okay. Did you see a Yawgmoth? No, that was the previous deck. That was the screenshot of the previous deck from the previous match. It's a lot of towers. I know about exactly one card in their hand, and it's a counter spell. They have 2 dress downs, so it's not too frightening. Serpently not attacking. 13 mana next turn. So that means my sequence next turn is Mystic Forge first, then Karn, and then the bridge. And if Karn gets countered, then I at least have Spellskite as a blocker, which is hopefully we don't have to go that far. But if they found multiple pieces of counter magic, then we will. You like a 1/1? Sure. I think that was better served as a counterspell, but what do I know? Yo, they're coming in for 5. Take it. I ain't afraid no ghost. 3 cards in hand. Let's play the Forge first, I guess. That eats their actual factual counterspell. Yep. And then they have to have another one. Oh, whoop. There's nothing I can do to stop that from happening. Resolves? Resolves? Does not resolve. Okay. Okay. All right. And a top deck in war. Cannot attack. They drew the nuts after seeing their hand. Well, they drew 3 cards on that turn because they played Ledger Shredder and they bobbled, so that let them cycle out a land, and then the bobble drew them a card, and they had drawn a card on that turn. So they drew 3 new cards on the turn where I'd Stonebrain them, which is I wouldn't call it the nuts. It was fine. It was a good draw. I think I'm forced to chump block from this point on because if they drew a dress down, I just die. So I should have thrown the construct first, but I guess in my mind, uh, theoretically, if I draw Mystic Forge, then this construct can get bigger than their shadows. Here's my card. Did you draw another counter? No, not so lucky. Okay. Did they have any bounce spells? No, 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 no. Okay, so Bridges game. Classic. Oh, they could draw a counter here. Please no. One time for the one time. They have Otawara. It's in their graveyard, actually. Unless they have a second one. Oh, no. Come on. Brutal. And the Ledger Shredder is 3 power. That's really frustrating. What a draw. What a draw. God damn it. I mean, I guess I top deck the Karn, so I really shouldn't complain. Okay. If we're given the option, we'll chump block here. Mm. Yeah, probably toast on this game just because of that one connive. But there was literally no way to play around it, right? So yeah, just dead to that. All right. Well, we'll have a better chance in game 3 considering I won't stone brain a card that isn't in their deck. So that should be helpful. Also, I'll have a better setup because we'll have more bridges in the main deck. And Odawara wouldn't have beaten Spellskite. One Odawara would not have been good enough. What did you name a Stonebrain? Archon of Cruelty. Because they discarded a Persist, so it really looked like they were still on Reanimator. And they were not. I have to block the Shadow. Okay. Well, of course, that's the question in the formal brew, but I don't think they will. I think that would be a very silly choice because it is so much more vulnerable. Playing a tempo deck against me is much more frightening than Reanimator. Yeah, I would say surely they won't. It'd be really funny to powder this and take 3 mines out of my deck. I think I'm actually going to do it. You just have to be aware of it. There's a mine, power plant. This is a keep. They also mulled to 6. Okay. Yeah, it was funny in the first game, I thought they must be playing Shadow, but they weren't shocking, so it was just like, oh, they're playing some kind of weird blue-black Reanimator deck. And the fact that they could board into Shadow is actually some pretty good deck building. Yep. So they know about that. Play Saga here. Look, Ma, all lands. Boy, are we drawing a lot of power plants. They have Archmage's Charms, they have Bone Shards, and they have Dress Downs. Don't dress down me, please. They're maybe just sacking for the um, to protect themselves from getting needled. I don't know if I want to attack. I don't think so. Although it potentially gets them really close to death. Where Walking Ballista might just come in and snipe them. Why? Why? I thought this card wasn't seeing play anymore. It makes sense to play it in Blue Black Shadow. I fucking hate Dress Down. My mid-range plan is so reasonable. Why you gotta do me like that? So I just have to wait until I can apply enough threats in a single turn to overwhelm their counter magic. I believe that is the correct way to play this. Is use the advantage that I have, which is a mana advantage, to mess with them. Spell's Guide is something I can just play though. If it eats a counter spell, I'm happy. Just in terms of pure card exchange. Okay. They have drawn several cards, but those are also counter spells that they now don't have access to. I suppose if they find more discard spells, that'll be problematic, so maybe I should go sooner than later. That's exactly what I was worried about. Yeah. Well, that's a problem. I should have used the tower because I'm intending to crack this right now. If I get to Stone Brain them, we were naming Counterspell. Although I guess I could name Death's Shadow. They don't have a lot of ways to win other than that. Bitter Blossom, though. Because they have Hall of Storm Giant. I mean, they'd have enough. They tanked on that one for a while. Okay, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's not enough to kill them with Walking Ballista this turn. But I probably... Is it worth trying to go for it now? I think so. Hey, Slaggy D. Ballista 5 turns off their fetch, I suppose. Okay. Naming counterspell, right? They just played one. I guess naming Shadow, like, really is going to mean it's going to take forever for them to win. Two Archmage's Charms and one Counterspell down. Let's name Counterspell because maybe... Well, we get to see their hand and maybe I play the Ballista now if they don't have any discard. Bone Shards, Fatal Push, Haul, Spell Pierce. We just kill him with Ballista next turn. Got it. Okay. Oh, I have a Spell Guide to protect my Ballista too. One in GY. Oh, yeah, sure. I don't need to exile it. It's gone. I'm sure they can use their graveyard as a resource. I'm sure that's a misplay. Hold on. With their hand being what it is, they have two removal spells, so playing the Ballista here makes no sense. So not playing the Ballista exposes me to them top decking a discard spell, and they have a Castle Vantress, so they could go digging for it. There are two Thoughtseizes in their deck. I think we're pretty... I would have done a double Stone Brain for the memes. How? What? They have Seize and Charm. Well, if they Vantress, they can't draw Charm. Yeah, you can't copy Stone Brain. Otherwise, I 100% would have done it. But you can't do that. That play doesn't work. Yeah, this is the only out for them. They go for Thoughtseize here. Or they... it's like a 6-1, half a dozen of the other. Is it easier for them to blind hit between Archmage's Charm or Thoughtseize, or is it easier for them to take 3 shots at a Thoughtseize? I don't know the math. I literally don't know the math. Interesting they don't use Drown in the Lock. Without Thought Scour, and with the fact that both creativity and a lot of like big mana decks are popular right now, I would say it's probably not a great idea. They had that, right? Yeah. Bubble. Spell Pierce me. I shouldn't use this now, but I'm doing it for funsies. Ledger Shredder on top, sure. What are you gonna do? Geistlight Snare me? So it looks like we got a nice little 3-2 with Prison Tron. Feels good, baby. Feels good. Let me close that. So, this build is better than I remember. Functioned well. It seems crazy to not be playing Chalice of the Void in your main deck. It makes a lot of sense with the way that Susurrus has built this deck. I think what's the rationale behind boarding in Brain versus that deck? I think that there's that like Dismember is a very limited use. It only kills Ledger Shredder. And it felt like there was enough cuts in the main deck to warrant it. And also Stonebrain is generally good to bring in against decks with a bunch of counter magic because they have to counter Stonebrain because Stonebrain takes out their counter magic. You need enough, like they're a low threat count deck, and they also don't have a lot of cards that interact with you. So I cut the... What did I cut? I'm looking at this and I'm trying to remember. I think I might have. Did I shave on Ensnaring Bridge? I might have done. Ensnaring Bridge and Mishra's Bauble is what I think I would have cut down on. You want to keep the Relic just in case they did pivot back to the reanimation plan. But this deck has a very, very high consistency of pushing for Tron and explosive early game hands, which is pretty much what you have to do, I assume, almost all the time. I've been playing these decks a lot, and I think the source of the reasonable amount of success I've had, and I have a bunch of 5-0s with it, is that I just push really hard for explosive Tron hands. And then there are certain matchups where in game 2 and 3 you don't have to do that, and in fact you don't want to do that, like Scam. Scam is the opposite. Scam, you keep any medium playable 7, and then you just play through the game, and it's usually not too hard. Although this version without Chalice is kind of tricky because Chalice was so good against Scam, but Scam doesn't seem so popular right now. I haven't run into it in leagues very much. And then having 4 Stone Brains is really good against decks like Creativity. So yeah, I enjoy these decks a lot. If you are watching this in the future on the YouTube, make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, check out any of my other videos you're interested in, and I will see you there.